So hey guys, I'm back again, and here's another edition of my TWD, The Walking Dead comic books chat. We're going to talk tonight all about the Image Plus catalog, which features Here's Negan, the special story that Robert Kirkman did all about Negan, to give us a little background on Negan, as well as issue 154 of The Walking Dead comic books. So which one should I do first, this one or this one? Okay, we'll start with this one really quick. You definitely should pick this up if you want some background on Negan. It includes 4 pages of the story, so this is literally part 1. The story is supposed to be 48 pages long, and I hope that Image decides, or Skybound decides to release this separately as a comic, just so you can have all of the stories together. Because so far, so good in my opinion. We basically learn in this story that Negan was once married, at least I think that woman was his wife. He was a ping pong coach and he was a gym teacher. So for all of you that thought that Negan was a car salesman, nah, he was a teacher. And he managed to scare one of his pupils that he was coaching, I guess, while they were playing ping pong. And the other 2 kids that were there kind of, you know, tried to cover up for the kid, and they were trying to look good in front of Coach Negan. Well, Negan's wife comes out, and she's all upset, and needless to say, she's fussing with him and ends up having what appears to be a seizure. And that's pretty much where they left off in the story, because it basically starts out with Negan holding a bat, and he's wrapping the bat with barbed wire, and we know that bat as, obviously, Lucille. Speaking of Negan, if you read issue number 153, you already know that Negan is now loose. And he is on his way to rendezvous with the Whispers. The Whispers are not here for him at all because he's kind of like loud and he talks too much in their eyes. It's pretty funny when you read issue 154 of the comic book and you see the banter between Negan and the Whispers. It's like Negan's talking more than the Whispers, but I'm laughing because I'm just like, how is this whole situation going to resolve itself? And it pretty much ends up resolving itself as Negan meeting some of the Whispers, especially this really tall dude named Beta. Get it? Alpha's the leader, and then Beta's her second in command. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, who could play this part? Like, who could be Beta on the TV show? And a couple of names, like, just popped up. They're probably familiar to you. Derek Mears, Tyler Main, and whatchamacallit, Andrew Bryanarski from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, those 3 are the 3 that just like popped up in my head, but I'm sure there are others that could play Beta just as well, but those are the 3 that popped up. Basically, what ends up happening with that situation with Negan and Beta and the other Whispers is Beta tells the Whispers to unarm him, take his knife, take his like holster thing, and by him I mean Negan, and they're basically trying to lead him to Alpha. Meanwhile, don't forget that Michonne and Aaron are still out there, still looking for Negan, and they come upon Brandon's dead body, and it appears that they popped up in the area maybe 5 minutes after Negan left, so they're like hot on his trail. But in doing so, they end up crossing paths with some of the Whispers who are not that happy. And if you recall, Alpha told Rick to stay out of her area and basically made it seem like as long as they stay out of that area, nothing will happen to them. And as Michonne is trying to negotiate and tell them, like, listen, you know, we're not going to hurt you. We just want Negan. He's a fugitive. Basically, Aaron ends up getting hurt. And I'm so worried about Aaron because it looked fatal. And I'm just trying to be positive. Hopefully he makes it another issue, but it's not looking very well. On top of the fact that now Michonne is thrust into a rather dangerous situation. Not that she can't fight her way out of it, but still, it's dangerous nonetheless. But a part of me was looking at the situation and I was thinking, you know, they're going to take, they meaning the Whispers, are going to take Michonne and Aaron to Alpha. And then Negan's going to see them, probably recognize them, and find a way to talk Alpha into keeping them alive as bait for Rick. Because if you watched my previous video that I'm going to link in the basically bio section below this, I basically talked about how I believe that Negan has a plan and that he's playing Alpha just based on looking at the cover of issue 156. Now, Carl seems happy. He's Earl's apprentice. Earl is the blacksmith at Hilltop. Everything's going well for him, and then Earl tells him that Lydia, his girlfriend, who's also Alpha's daughter, can remain at Hilltop and she's safe. And as Carl is about to tell Lydia this information, what happens is that he crosses paths with Maggie. And Maggie tells him, listen, Rick wants you and possibly Lydia, if Lydia wants to come with you, she can, to return to Alexandria with him. And Carl's just like, listen, I'm my own man. You guys can't tell me what to do anymore. I want to stay here. Meanwhile, just caught sight of the message written on one of the walls, or some of the walls in the Hilltop, which is basically silence the Whispers, and she's trying to figure out what all of that means. And then she comes upon Rick, whose face is all messed up because, remember, Brandon beat the crap out of him. Not that Rick didn't throw a few punches himself, but Brandon beat the crap out of him, which is why I don't feel bad that Brandon was killed off. He kind of deserved it because he was stupid. But Rick basically said that he took that situation and decided to use it as a learning experience to make himself into a better leader. I'm all here for it. But how did you guys interpret him saying a great leader or a better leader? I know he said something about becoming a good leader. How did you interpret that whole thing? Because me personally, I'm just like, you know, this is probably going to be a whole new Rick that we're going to see, but I want to hear what you guys have to think about that. So let's talk about Eugene. Now, Eugene has been communicating with that person over the CB radio. Well, come to find out, contrary to everybody's belief, said person is a girl named Stephanie. And Stephanie reveals that Oceanside is kind of this place whereas people are welcome to come and no one judges them for what they did to survive. Meaning this goes completely against Team Family and Rick's ideas when it comes to adding people to their group, because if you know from the TV show as well as from the comics, Rick and the crew ask people questions before they allow them to join, like how many people have you killed, how many walkers have you killed, were you a part of a group? Hopefully I'm getting that last question correct, but anyway, basically Oceanside is pretty much open to allow everybody to bring their own brand of crazy. Now I'm interpreting that as, at first it seemed like Oceanside was an Eden, a perfect, beautiful place, but now it seems like Oceanside is one of those places where you have to watch your back. Maybe that's me. You guys probably interpret that differently, but that's just me. But I think that's about it as far as the comic books. Other than the fact that Negan meets Alpha and he seems to be smitten in love with Alpha, and I'm just like, no, he can't be. There is no way he is playing her, and I hope that it works out well. As much as this whole Whisper storyline is interesting, eventually they're going to have to take down Alpha. And the thing about Negan in the comic books is that Negan does not like performing violence against women, including rape. So this is really going to test Negan. I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. I'm ready to read issue 155 and issue 156, and hopefully 156 is a double issue, or at least I hope that they make 157 a double issue, because this story is getting good and I am not feeling these cliffhangers, especially after that cliffhanger that happened at the end of season 6 of the TV show. But you guys take care. Definitely don't forget to pick up issue 153 of the Walking Dead comic book and issue 1 of the Image Plus catalog that features Here's Negan. It's an awesome story. But you guys take care. Let me know what you thought about both of these, or if you still want to talk about the finale of The Walking Dead, I'm here as well. So take care. I love you guys. Until next time. Bye, guys. Bye.